I'm Greg Galliette of the Louisville Bats. I welcome you to our annual preseason press conference. We had a really nice year last year. We were very pleased with both the way things went as a business and also the way our team competed and hung into the pennant race to the last few weeks of the season. We thought Jim did a great job of keeping things held together throughout the season, and we're looking forward to having him and his entire staff back. In regards to the upcoming season for the Bats promotionally, obviously we get things off to a tremendous start on Saturday the 29th of March when the Cincinnati Reds will be visiting for the first time since 2005 when they play the Bats in an exhibition game. We're extremely excited about that and hoping for some really nice weather at 4 o'clock on that Saturday afternoon. And then during the season we got some great things planned throughout the year, probably highlighted once again by our bobblehead series. It just shows you the quality of talent that has really gone through here over the years. This year, some of our featured guys in our bobblehead series will be Joey Votto, Jay Bruce, Johnny Cueto, and Homer Bailey. And then we kind of have our unusual night here at the ballpark that I think a lot of you guys in the media are going to have fun with. And that's on Sunday, the 27th of July, when we have Star Wars night here at the ballpark, when the Bats will be dressed in Star Wars jerseys and we'll have Star Wars characters all over the ballpark. So hopefully it won't throw Jim and the players off a little bit too much that night. But the reason you're here is to hear from the skipper of the Louisville Bats. So without further ado, once again, back this year, Jim Riggleman.
Thank you. Star Wars. Well, yeah, I was down in the clubhouse. I saw some interesting jerseys down there. That'll be a fun time at the ballpark. And I know, the whole Louisville experience has been great for me. Look forward to coming back here next year. I just came from Little Rock, Arkansas, where we had a reunion there of ex-players who went through Little Rock, both playing, coaching, managing, and so forth. A bunch of guys showed up. We had a great time, and I can't tell you how many times Louisville, the city of Louisville's name came up, because so many of those guys went on to play AAA baseball in Louisville when they left Little Rock, and asked me a lot of questions about places in Little Rock and the ballpark and so forth, because most of them played at the fairgrounds when they came through here. And it's just typical of the reputation that the city has in minor league baseball, and how everybody looks forward to it, loves it, coming in here. Opposing players come in here and enjoy it because of the job that Greg and his staff do. And just the whole atmosphere for minor league baseball could not be better. This is a premier place in the country to play minor league baseball and to get ready for the next step to go to the big leagues. So I feel very fortunate to be here. As I said, enjoyed my experience here last year a great deal. The support from the fans is tremendous. You really appreciate that support, because sometimes the club is not playing the way we should play or whatever. You have those nights, but you never get a negative comment from people here. They're just totally supportive. Get them tomorrow night, Jim, that type of stuff, and that's appreciated. So I just thank so much of those people, and again, the job that Greg and Mr. Ulmer and everybody here does is just outstanding. Gives us a great place to get these players ready to go to the next level, and ultimately that's what it's all about. At this time, I'd like to open it up to any questions anybody has about the Bats or the Reds, anything I can help you with. I'd be glad to do that.
Jim, how much did you find last year that the goal of winning the game became subordinate to development?
That's kind of a universal question every year with every ball club in the minor leagues. I think at the really lower levels of the minor leagues, it's very much so 100% development. As you get closer to the big leagues, you're really fine-tuning players. They know how to play. The development, for the most part, has taken place, and the product we get on the field here is pretty well developed. Again, you do some fine-tuning, and you're doing some teaching, and pointing out some things, that the way the Reds want to do things, and when you get to go to the big leagues, let's be ready to do it the way the manager wants to do it up there. And so there's that preparation. But when the umpire says play ball, your competitive juices are flowing and you're trying to win the ball game. So that it works in sync with each other. You know, you're making decisions sometimes in the game that you're making for the player development side, but pretty much all those decisions are made at the lower levels. At this level, you can manage the game with the thought in mind that we can put this game away, we can win this game if we do these things, and it's not going to in any way impede the development of the player.
When are you in
My reporting date is the 18th, so that's I'll be out there right around that time, 18th, 19th, 20th of February with position players. Our pitchers and catchers report, I believe, on the 14th of February, and the position players report, I believe, the 19th. So the staff comes in maybe a day before.
Doctor had said at some point maybe Stevenson would be here. How much have you seen of him?
I have not seen him. The question was about our pitcher Stevenson, number one draft pick a couple years ago, and is doing very well from what I understand. You know, he's a classic kind of 6'2", 6'3", right-handed, hard-throwing young prospect that you want to, you wish you had a bunch of, coming through your organization. I know he got to AA last year and did good accounting for himself there. I would imagine he would probably start there. I don't know that, but if we're fortunate enough to get him, that means that he's done well there, and that's huge. Most of the time, players that have success at AA can usually handle AAA, so it would be a real boost for the organization if he can go there and continue to make progress there at AA, because then we would get him, and you'd like to have those hard-throwing guys coming along in the organization, like we had Singrani last year. That was guys who really solidified our staff, were people like Reynolds and Reineke and some veteran guys who really did a great job. But you like to have one or two flamethrowers coming through too, and Stevenson fits that mold.
What's the value of having Corky quarterback?
Well, we're very fortunate to have Corky. The thing with Corky is that I know the Major League pitching staff and the Major League coaching staff is so comfortable with him, and that's huge, to have somebody that if something were to happen to your Major League catcher, that you can call on Corky and he's going to be composed and he can call a game and he can help the pitcher get through the game. He's caught most of those guys in the big leagues. He's caught them at some point or another, and when he's here, you feel the same way. The fingers that he's putting down are going to help the pitcher get through the game. He's just, and the thing with Corky is he's a pretty good hitter. He's going to be pretty close to putting some record numbers up here for career-wise in Louisville, I think. So, he's a good player. He's a good guy to have on the ball club. He's a good guy to have in the clubhouse. And, I know Corky wants to keep playing, and he can, I'm sure, play as long as he wants, but I know he's got a great future in the game as a coach or a manager.
You see a change in the way pitchers are being developed now with the Kershaw contract kind of blows the ceiling off what guys are compensated. There seems to be a feeling that you might want to hold guys back a little longer so you get their peak years before the free agents.
I haven't really given that a lot of thought. I just, the numbers are overwhelming. I mean, it's, that's, somebody else has to deal with that. I guess as a pitching coach or a manager, you're kind of just looking at the quality of this pitcher himself, and let's when they're ready to pitch, let's get them in there, and if it takes a little longer, that's fine too. But the manager and the pitching coach are going to let the people upstairs worry about how do you make it work financially. But the staff, the coaching staff and the manager, they're just very fortunate to have these guys, and the Reds have got a few right there. The Reds pitching staff that Brian has brought along there it's a great group, and some of those numbers are probably going to be kicking in there pretty soon too. So who knows what happens there.
Do you think that the major leagues are getting a more finished product now, pitching particularly?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to in any way insult, the pitchers and the coaches and the staffs that have brought along the pitchers in the past. But it does seem that somehow or another, there's guys coming along who, Kershaw made it there quick. The kid Gray who pitched for Oakland in the playoffs, appeared to be a finished product. And he was, 20, 21 years old pitching in the playoffs last year. Those guys, they're getting some great instruction somewhere, somewhere. Some of them before they get in the minor leagues, but the guys who come into the minor leagues and are fortunate to be working under the tutelage of guys like in our system. They're getting them ready to pitch in the big leagues. Ted Power, Mark Riggins, Tom Brown. These guys, they get pitchers ready to pitch in the big leagues, and I'm sure the other organizations feel the same way about their guys. I know Kershaw got a lot of help coming through his system with the Dodgers.
In that exhibition against the Reds here at Slugger Field, what does that mean, for your kids to be able to play against the big league club in their house?
That's a great day. It really is. The players get excited about it. They know that everybody in the organization is watching. The general manager's watching. His assistants, his staff are watching them compete against the major league talent. And some of our guys probably will be playing on the other side maybe that day too to help fill out that roster. But it's great for our fans, number one, get to see our major league club up close here. A lot of those players love Louisville. They'll be thrilled to get back in here. And our team, the Bats, will again get to show their talents against that major league club. And sometimes you leave a lasting impression. Something happens that day that somebody who maybe wasn't on the 40-man roster in the major league club did not see in spring training, and they go, wow, who's that kid? So I know that our players will be looking at it as an opportunity to impress.